As you know, I'm Audrey Kenneth, and today we have a very exciting show, if I do say so myself. But before we introduce our two guests, I would like you to think back to a time when you were younger. Do you remember all of the rules you had? Don't point, no name calling. But rules are the center of our society. Picture this: no connection to civilization and no rules. Well, today we have two young men who are in this exact situation. They are Meridew and Ralph, and it has been 1 full year since their rescue from an uncharted island. It's Audrey Kenneth! And it's her show! And watch right now! It's Audrey Kenneth! Our first guest today is Ralph. Welcome, Ralph. We're happy to have you here today.
I'm happy to be here.
So I hear you've been through some pretty adult experiences for such a young man. How old are you?
13 and a half.
And when you were on the island, were you the oldest?
No, I was one of the big ones, but there were a little ones too.
And about how many would you say?
I don't know, maybe 2 hands count?
What did you call the boys? Little ones and big ones?
Big ones were the boys around my age, and the little ones were the little ones.
And there were no young ladies with you?
No, it was just us boys. We were groups from all boys schools.
So how exactly did you end up on the island?
Well, we were attacked. I wasn't sure at first, but with all the screaming and hollering, I knew something happened. The one kid, he said after we crashed that we was on fire, but...
What was his name?
Piggy.
So who's Piggy?
First kid I met on the island, after I got out of the plane, or what was left of it. Pretty annoying and clingy, and he had something called Asmar.
Asmar? Don't you mean asthma?
Something like that. I always said sucks to your Asmar when he couldn't do anything, but now that I look back on it, he really couldn't do anything about it.
Okay, so was Piggy his real name?
I don't know what his real name was, but we just called him Piggy.
So after you two boys found each other, did you realize that you were on an island?
Well, no, right then we didn't realize, but it was like a game. There's no adults, no rules, just freedom.
And what did you do when you found Piggy? Or when, well, Piggy found you?
Well, we walked through the jungle. We swam too. It was pretty hot there. Piggy found something in the water. It turned out to be a conch shell. He told me to try it out, and surprisingly, it made a brilliant sound. Kind of like a horn, but lower.
Okay. So, as a special treat for the audience today, Ralph, we have a conch shell here for you. Would you mind making the sound so we get a feel of what it was like on the island?
Sure.
Wow, Ralph, that was impressive. And now, you can all blow a conch just like Ralph, because you're all getting a new conch! On the Audrey Kenneth Show, because we love our audience! Oh, excuse me, Ralph. I'm sorry. So I'm guessing that this is when you met Meridew.
Yeah.
Okay, don't touch that dial. We'll be right back with our second survivor, Meridew.
Not getting enough sleep at night. Not having enough energy in the day. Then you need Sansanol. Side effects include coughing, sneezing, aching, sore throat, vomiting, suicidal thoughts, stroke, heart attack, coma, increase in taxes, loss of a family member, loss of hair, loss of limbs, loss of appetite, sudden convulsions, constant seizing, loss of motion, heart palpitations, sudden paranoia of cats, color blindness. Do not take this if you are pregnant, possibly pregnant, or not pregnant at all. Also, do not take this if you are female, male, or anything in between. If you stop breathing for over an hour, contact your doctor, for this might be the start of a serious health problem. Side effects may also include death,
Welcome back. When we left, we were talking to Ralph, a young man who was stranded on an island after his plane was attacked over the ocean. We're about to introduce our next guest, Meridu, who was also stranded on the island. Please welcome Meridu. Welcome, Meridu. How are you today?
I'm fine, but call me Jack, so they call me on the island.
Okay, Meridu. So you and Ralph had some type of relationship when you were on the island. Friends, I'm guessing? So, what happened after you boys gathered, after you heard the conch?
Well, first off, call me Jack, please. And, that's when I met Ralph, and, that one. You mean Piggy? Alright, Piggy. Anyway, that's when we voted for, Chief, and he was the leader.
And who was on the ballot?
Well, me, obviously. I'd already led people before, and Ralph, the other conch.
So the conch was a symbol of...
I guess it was something of order. Almost tied us to home.
That's interesting. Okay, so what was the outcome? Who won?
Ralph did. But I elected myself to be leader of the hunters, who were my choir boys.
So by then, you knew it was an island?
We had to get an idea of where we were before we could see if we needed to be rescued. We went exploring, and I went because I was chief, and Jack went because he was the leader of the hunters. We needed another, so we picked one of the biggest, Simon.
But how did you know that it was an island? You couldn't have traveled all the way around.
No, we got lucky. Found it on a mountain, it was easy enough to climb. It was jolly good fun. We felt like real explorers. We got to the top, we could see everything. And then we saw it was an island.
Okay, I see. So after you figured that out, what was your plan? How did you expect to get rescued?
Well, since we could see everything, we knew that there were no ships, boats, or villages. We had to make a signal somehow, so we decided to make a fire on top of these mountains.
In the meantime, me and my boys were hunting pigs and we're all over the island.
But it wasn't as important as the fire, Jack.
But it was still important. I needed to kill. I mean, we needed meat.
But Jack, you let the fire go out, we could have been rescued. We could have all been rescued.
So you had trouble keeping the fire going?
Along with hunting, you expected me and my choir boys to watch the fire as well?
It was your job, Jack, and we voted for you, and you failed.
You don't understand. It was something I needed to do. We needed meat.
Jack, there was a ship. A ship. You even seemed like you forgot what rescue was.
Shut up. It wasn't important.
It wasn't important? Are you...
Well, Jack, you seem like you felt very strongly about your job as hunter.
Well, of course I did. I mean... yeah. It's thrilling.
That's why. It was barbaric.
It was necessary. You're just mad that took power away from you.
I was chief. You had no right to challenge my authority. You led them to blood when I was trying to lead them to civilization.
We'll be right back. My name is Audrey Kenneth, and you may know me from the Audrey Kenneth Show. Today I would like to talk to you about these darling animals. Now, animals like Samson here face hardships every day, but you can help by donating just $5,000 an hour to me, Audrey Kenneth, and 0.2% of this will go to help these beautiful
Who knew butterflies could last all night? And who knew love would find its way back in my life? Eyes collided and my world shook. 15 seconds never felt so good. Heart skipped a beat, your belly breathing, now I'm flying.
Every day, animals struggle, and you can help. We're back with 2 survivors of a traumatic plane crash that stranded them on an uncharted island for an extended period of time. Jack and Ralph were faced with living away from civilization and rules. Earlier we mentioned the fact that you had a signal fire and that you were almost rescued, am I correct? This subject obviously caused tension between you two. Did it cause you to become more devoted to the fire?
Well, it was still important to me, but Jack changed.
How so?
He became obsessed with hunting the pigs and the beast.
Oh, so there was something else on the island.
Yeah.
Can you describe this beast?
Beast with teeth and big black eyes. It was so dark we could hardly see.
So it was nighttime?
By the time we found it, it was dark.
So you knew there was something else on the island. Where did you see this beast?
It was on top of the mountain where we had the rescue fire.
And did you actually go back to the mountain in the daytime? Did you see the beast up close?
No, it wasn't safe.
So could it have been all in your head?
No, it was real, I'm sure.
Well then, where did you move the fire?
I moved it to the beach, but that's when things got complicated.
Ralph soon became unfit to be chief, so I left, made my own tribe.
I wasn't unfit to be chief. All you wanted to do was play and hunt.
You're just mad because everybody came with me.
You were crazy, Jack. Crazy.
Crazy? You think I was crazy? I gave you food, even when you didn't join my tribe. You were the crazy
You
one.
killed Simon.
He was a beast in disguise. I was protecting you. I even gave it a sacrifice. I gave you protection from the beast.
Not a human sacrifice, of course.
No. We killed a pig, cut off its head, put it in a clearing.
Well, that sounds brutal, but somewhat primal.
Well, you knew Piggy wasn't in disguise. Was he a sacrifice too?
I didn't kill Piggy, Roger did. Besides, he was gonna die anyway. Fatty.
You savage.
Boys, I'm losing you. Calm down, please.
You know what, Ralph? Maybe I was a savage. Maybe I was. There were no laws, no rules. There was no adults telling us what was right and what was wrong. Maybe what I did was right. We survived.
We could have all survived.
Survival of the fittest.
If that naval officer would have never appeared, I would have been dead.
Dead.
Boys, stop it. I've never had an interview like this. Sit down. Let's just take some deep breaths here. Okay. So, you were rescued. Reports say that a naval officer saw the smoke coming from the island and went over to investigate. It says here, and I quote, "I found a group of boys, young boys, dressed like savages with paint on their faces and spears in their hands. Looked like fun and games. Then it says that he picked you up, took you home on a ship. It certainly doesn't sound like fun and games the way you two are yelling at each other. Is this the first time you've seen each other since then?"
Yes.
So in a week or so you were back home, clean, back to the civilized world.
Just like that.
Well, there you have it. Two young men, survivors of a traumatic plane crash. They faced the odds. However, even with their insight, we could never fathom what it was like for them without the everyday things that we take for granted. Until next time, I'm Audrey Kenneth. Thanks for watching.
Next time on The Audrey Kenneth Show.
We'll be talking to former factory worker Olinda Morvis. What truly is in your Coca-Cola?
The Audrey Kenneth Show is brought to you by Conch. It's not just an item, but a way of life.
Use them to decorate your home.
Use the Conch to call your family to dinner. Dinner time!
I'm coming, Mom! Use the conch to entertain for your home. Wow, he's really, really good. Whenever in need, blow conch indeed.
I came to dance, 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 dance. I hit the floor cause that's my plans, 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 plans. I'm wearing all my favorite brands, 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 brands. Give me some space for both my hands, hands, hands.
I was one of the big ones, but there are all the little ones too.
And how many would you say?